Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we are going to be jumping into the Session 4 FNCS Qualifier Finals, and we're going to be jumping on board with NA West over on NRG EPIKWHALE. Now, NRG EPIKWHALE got first place in this event, and I forget what game we're going to be looking into. I'll post it up on the screen here so you guys can see it, but we're going to be looking at this really good game. We see EPIKWHALE is going to be landing here at the Authority. Hopefully he can just like start moving normally here in a second. Alright, so EPIKWHALE landing here at the Authority. He grabs this FAMAS and he's going to go on ahead and start moving in. He gets this first chest immediately, and the thing about VOD reviewing is, yeah, we're looking for all the things that he does right, and that comes with the like off-spawn strategy. Like, you can already see there's so much strategy going into this. He's already grabbed himself a couple chests, he's made his way into this room, breaks that camera, finds the third chest, and this is all within, you know, what, 5-10 seconds of landing here at the Authority. So EPIKWHALE, we're going to get that lag. You guys know how the spectator client works, but Bumboy right around the corner, he's going to grab himself some crash pads and another chest. It's unfortunate at this point in the game that he doesn't have any shields yet, but you know, he heard a lot of fighting here in the mid. He gets control of this wall, and if Bumboy, you know, was out in the open just a little bit longer, you know, that'd be a situation that he'd have to worry about. Look at that, even the utilization of these cones to just block off that east direction in here, breaking another chest right here, breaking all of this, and now he's even covering the top. I mean, this is so planned. I've actually never watched EPIKWHALE's off spawn. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just, you know, I jump back and forth to different players and watch what they do, and this is obviously that henchman outfit, so that's bugged, but look at how efficient in everything he's done. Breaking the chest above, blocking his head, scanning this this henchman chest, and he's just been in complete control thus far. He might take that bolt or even that SMG, and we'll see if he feels like... Okay, so he's just going to go ahead and keep the shields and break the barrels because his shield count is really well, and he's just continuing to move, and it's so seamless. Everything he's doing is in pursuit of this loot path and this side of the agency that we completely see him gain control of. Wow, I'm impressed with the efficiency. I don't know if he saw that blue AR or if maybe that's like a visual bug or something, but regardless, not a huge difference. He hears this player Prime really close to him, and he's looking to pursue. Now, I don't believe he gets any kills in the early game, and you know, I don't feel like that's a huge spoiler or anything, but he's probably just fighting over control of this henchman chest while also making sure he doesn't want to give up, you know, too much control over like the vaults or something like that, or just waste so much time. But ultimately the goal here is to loot and then walk away. You know, he doesn't have to get control of the mythic items, although obviously anybody coming to the Authority would definitely want to do that. But EPIKWHALE is playing this slow, and this is interesting to see. I want to see how much time he's willing to invest. We did just hear that grappler pop off, so he knows somebody has it, and ultimately he's just going to be looking to find the best situation against Prime, and we have to see what that is. I haven't watched this VOD through, so I'm quite literally discovering all this as we're watching it here together. So he's looking around. He's got some good info on Prime because he sees those wooden ramps, so he knows based on where he can hear and things like that. So now we're going to see he's probably going to start making his way over toward the vault. Now, one thing I've noticed about people that play the agency is that you can like kind of get a lot of control over this. Looks like somebody's already done that, but if you can get a lot of control over this area, oh, see, the vault's already been open, the player's probably entirely gone, and so now he's just looking to like secondhand loot this and see what he can find. So he just swaps over to a blue AR. I mean, his loadout is amazing. The only thing he really doesn't have is like a ton of AR ammo, or even shotgun ammo for that matter, so it's really like his only concern. And mat-wise, he obviously needs to farm. So let's go ahead and take a pause while he's just like farming up a little bit, and we're going to see that he's in this far bottom side of the zone. And that's one thing about the Authority. You can pretty much always guarantee that you're going to be in the first zone, or at least decent enough position to rotate. But this zone's actually kind of not great for him. You know, there's going to be a lot of people in these surrounding areas, and he's just like naturally on the most congested side of zone. So we'll have to see where he decides to go. Does he just white line it in? Because that's, if you look ahead of him, there's really only like a couple of people ahead of him, including whoever's here at the agency with him. So if he's able to maybe loot up, farm up, and then rotate in sooner than later, that could be good just for the first zone, just to try to get somewhere. But we'll see what he decides to do. You know, I play edge zone whenever I play specifically, and you know, not everybody lands at the agency, so it'll definitely be interesting to learn a little bit about what an agency player is looking to prioritize in terms of their positioning for the first zone. Nice, finds those ammo boxes, and man, I'm telling you, AR rounds can be very scarce at times, so He's just continuing to farm, even knows that these outside railings are metal, which I actually didn't know. I probably would have assumed those were brick since, you know, I'm not much of an agency player myself. And Bumboy's sitting up at the top. He can actually tell. He can see that up there. And EPIKWHALE's he's just all in pursuit of his mats and just getting out of here at some point. Again, I just want to catch the cadence, right? It's, I think more so than anything, not just seeing how a player fights or like, you know, where they choose to position, but also like paying a lot of attention to their timing and what they find as a priority, and you can kind of just pick that up over time as you watch a player. So like, I mean, even just something like as simple as seeing what he chooses to load out with. I don't know what just disconnected from my computer. I think it was my controller. But okay, so that's Bumboy, it seems like, has the grappler, but you know, coming out here and farming all this metal on the outside, it's nice. It's interesting to see. It's like I said, it's something that I didn't know that a player would do. And these are those little min-max kind of things that you can learn from a professional player in a VOD review. So really, really valuable here. Look at all this metal he's just getting off these railings. Let's see if he has to fight that guy. And he's going up. All right, so let's see what EPIKWHALE's his goal is here, because he's actually spending quite a bit of brick to get up here. It looks like he wants to get some of this metal. Yeah, he's just spending some mats to get some mats. I mean, even a decision like this gets him closer to Bumboy. You can see Reet over there northeast of him as well, and he's literally spending mats to get mats. And my biggest question is gonna be, where does he decide to position for this zone when it starts closing? Is he going to move in? These are really some of the things that I'm thinking about a whole lot, because he could sit here as well. I mean, if the zone was a little bit more central, you can bet that he does a play like this where he goes for all the mats, but he probably just doesn't move at all because there really would be no reason to. This zone is a little bit more intrusive in terms of like where he might want to position. I'm not sure he wants to sit on the edge. But that's just my thinking. He may specifically want to sit on the edge and look for tags, you know? He may want to be here, and that's exactly what he's doing, at least right now. So he finds himself some really good metal, even replacing this build-in metal. And this could be, you know, us peeking into the mind of EPIKWHALE in terms of how he deals with Storm Surge, because you see he's hanging out on the edge. He obviously knows he's hanging out on the edge, and any player that's probably going to rotate in would probably have done so earlier. So the other thing about this is, wow, man, I'm actually impressed. I did not realize how much metal the agency had. So he's going to be able to get like full brick, full metal out of here if he just continues to sit here and farm. Peeking out at the edge again. Yeah, this is definitely Storm Surge strategy here. So again, I mean, first zone, the thing about first zone is that like if you hard commit to center, you're kind of just locked into whatever heavy zone shift you get. But if you play edge, as long as you're in, you're kind of good. You can always make like a really long dead side rotate. You know, being on like the congested side, you know, might not be the most beneficial thing to him, but like the zone is so big that it's not like a controlled congested side, right? Like it's more so like this whole bottom half of the zone down here is congested, but it's not like every single one of these players is going to rotate into the agency. You know, so you know, you got a lot of south down here that's going to just be cutting up north. So he's just hanging out here. He's in the zone. He's chilling. This allows him to look for storm tags and just wait out the zone. So now this is a good question. And look at that, even looking for some more tags. Oh, wow, 2 nice shots from EPIKWHALE. So we're gonna go ahead and pause and we're gonna take a look at this zone. So EPIKWHALE hanging out at the agency, and this is for sure gonna be congested. With a zone like this, I don't think I'd be surprised if I just saw him like white line it directly in, because he's not particularly in a position to like hard rotate down. I mean, he could. I'll be interested to see how that goes for him. I'm more so interested to see what he decides, because I feel like the distance here is short enough, but at the same time he's already on congested side. He doesn't have any mobility other than his crash pads that he can't afford to use. So this is a really good question for me, because I think I would like to rotate down on that south side, but with a super stacked game like this, I'm not sure it's a viable decision to make. So he's just going to work on that brick a little bit, and we'll see what he does. This is the difference between someone like EPIKWHALE and someone like me, who I feel like I have a really good understanding of the game, but I'm just not sure where he is going to go here. love to be able to predict it right, but you know, I'm just not, I'm not that same level. We'll see if he gets a shot off on the prime. Nah, no tag. He's gonna build straight up. Looking for another. Oh, might turn into a fight. He's just gonna chill. He's gonna chill. He doesn't want the fight. He wanted to get some tags. That you know, might hurt his brick a little bit. But we'll see what they decide to do, because they don't want to sit here, right? You know, he probably wants Prime to leave, you know, just so he can go. And this is where you got to be careful in solos. You know, you make someone angry, and next thing you know, they get emotional and fight you. So we'll see how this one progresses. But EPIKWHALE, I mean, look at his loadout. Really great loadout. He's got a little bit of mobility. The only concerning thing is just like the lack of AR ammo, which 124 is not bad. It's just like it's not enough to be aggressive enough where you can, you know, like force a lobby focus or really like hold somebody. You got to be real measured with your rounds when you're not running a sub and you're in this kind of a position. So this is actually turning into a fight. Prime is fighting for control of that pyramid, and EPIKWHALE is just taking it nice and slow. Even create another box. Prime is very insistent here. I'm actually surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, again, I know that EPIKWHALE has a good game on this one. I think he wins this one, or he gets like second place or something like that. I'm gonna say I don't think that this should go on very long. EPIKWHALE obviously just kind of like telegraphing like, hey, look, yeah, I know I shot at you, but you know, we don't want to be here. And really, he burned a lot of brick for that. So Prime just pulls away. You can kind of see him rotating over. He's gonna look for tags, maybe. Is this lag? I think this is lag, yeah. Okay. So he might look for tags. But yeah, and again, okay, so I would like I said earlier with the rotation, I would have loved to seen EPIKWHALE rotate more toward a dead side, because he's really just coming in straight. But with the way that the zone pulled, he's just so close here that it doesn't really make sense not to just like white line it in. He also doesn't really have the luxury of just like spending a lot of time out on the edge, because there's going to be other players on the edge, and also his mats kind of suck. So if any of this brick is still here, he's gonna really benefit from it right here outside of Salty, because he could definitely use the brick. Get shot at a little bit, and at this point, where's our player count? We're at 81 players. He's gotten some damage, but really EPIKWHALE's biggest issue right now is his mat count. He's just not in the best position when it comes to that brick. Oh, accidentally deploys a crash pad, which sucks. You know, it'd be like that. Crash pads are pretty clunky, and they're just not the most, you know, like the most QA tested thing in the world. No, I don't know. They're just not great. So now he's vibing on the edge on this house. Got 112 builds. See Quinn rotating in, and go ahead and peek the map. So I mean, it's really not a bad situation to be. It's no less congested than it would have been if he rotated the south side. So with the distance, oh, Bumboy's actually got himself into some trouble here. He might look to 3P or just get himself in. Yeah, looking for the 3P potential. This is a dangerous spot to be in, because you're just kind of like surrounded, and I think this is why he's just gonna like take over his own little spot. Oh, look at this, forcing a little bit of action. Look at all this loot. What the heck? He gets the grappler. Oh my god, again, I told you guys I haven't watched this one. Oh, he's got to be careful, because this is where a potential throw could happen, but he hit Prime really hard. Wow, that one crash pad just changed the game. I mean, our man's EPIKWHALE literally just got agency loot for free. I wonder if he'll take the crash pads on top of this, because I think he's got like 4 of them. No, he had more big pots. Okay. So let's go ahead and use this opportunity as a way to just pay attention to the situation that EPIKWHALE is in with his loot. He got an upgraded shotgun. He's got a good AR. He swapped out that mobility and then got more mats. You know, almost topped off his mats here, as well as getting the mythic grappler just from 3Ping a fight with a crash pad, which is something that like you know, us lesser experienced players may not try to pull off, just because, you know, we want to save those crash pads. But wow, that's absolutely wild. All right, so EPIKWHALE's chilling here, and he's got a far distance to go. He does not have a launch pad. He does have grappler, but this is a pretty long distance. So let's pay attention to his timing and try to see if we can understand why and when he decides to go. Prime still right above him again. They're kind of playing this cat and mouse game, but look at this. Okay, so this is what you want to see. It's almost always better to go early if you can. Shout out to 14 Riley on the screen. but it's almost always better to go early if you can. And he's got the grappler, so although he's like, you know, a little vulnerable. Wow, this is okay. I don't know what I'm epic. Hello. Even though he's got the grappler, you know, you're a little vulnerable, so he takes a tag, but he's just gonna get himself in and probably use a 50 pot. Now he's just looking for potential beams, but he's in, and that's the most important thing, man. Don't want to use too many mats. You're in. You don't want to cause too much commotion. He's already got some damage. He's got great mobility. At this point, it's the set of the game, the point of the game where you have to be disciplined. I talk about this in solos sometimes too. Like I feel like it's easy to get bored in solos. And it's easy to potentially make bad decisions because you're bored. You know what I mean? Like, so did Prime just launch pad in? He did. Or someone launch padded. That's interesting. Maybe he felt pressured, or in any case, that use of mobility, whether it was forced by him or somebody else, it's kind of unfortunate in that position. Don't want to, you know, be launching to like second zone if you don't have to. So again, you know, one thing I really want to look for here is just a lot of discipline. You know, if you can keep a lot of discipline, that would be more beneficial than you'd think, because you just don't want to be wasting your ammo. You don't want to be making so many moves that people pay attention to you, and the next thing you know, you're blowing all your mats because you're getting lobby focused, or someone gets a tag on you and it forces them to try to box fight you or something like that. So just stay disciplined. And with these zone pulls, again, I mean, he had the grappler, so he just ran it straight in. He probably would have run it straight in even if he didn't have the grappler. And the zones have just been in a position where he just needs to get there. Having the grappler is great because he has that ability to do so. Just get there, right? Even in this position, you know, we see him kind of hanging out here on this east end. He's really not that far. These zones haven't been terrible for him, especially once finding the grappler. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops a 50 pot and just goes for it. He's maybe just watching to see if some people are looking to go ahead of him. The thing about 350 pots is that you don't really need them, right? You know what I mean? Like, you don't need them. So as long as he could move and potentially take damage just because, you know, he's out in the open with this grappler, if he takes damage, it's fine because he can just use the 50s and rotate away. Also, the other thing is he's going to want to... Oh my goodness, no. No way he did this to our guy like that. Well, he gets himself a mat refresh, which is really nice, and he's peeking around. He got himself some more AR rounds, but really there's not much to do here. He could potentially toss out I was gonna say crash pads if he just wants to use them to rotate, and he's gonna drop the 50 pots for the floppers. Now, like I said, you know, end game here, you just really don't look. You even try to catch that player. You don't need 50 pots. Oh, okay. So he's gonna go ahead and back up off of that. I know we're getting lag right now, but that's some free loot right there. I forget who Mechton is. I really can't remember who that player is, but so yeah, EPIKWHALE is not quite in yet, but he's got the grappler, and again, you know, dropping those 50 pots, he just doesn't need it. He really doesn't need it. Looking for some shots, nice. Will he be able to box him in? No. Oh, he's gonna yoink that slurp fish away. He's not in, so I don't think he's going to do anything with it, but just kind of trying to keep it out of the hands of the enemy player. And you see that the damage threshold has popped up for Storm Surge. He's already got 1 kill and has gotten lots of damage. So he's just going to put himself right inside the zone, spend a little bit of mats, holding his builds as he like waits for some of this to kind of like heal up. And he's put himself in a pretty good position, you know. He's in, he makes sure he's connected with wood just to spend, you know, what 20, 30 mats and make sure he's connected. I mean, he's in a great position. I think probably the most important thing that I could note recently from his decision making. Whoa, motor chilling right next to him. Gotta relax right there. The most important thing we could probably make note of. Oh, 1v1 inside the box. Motor jumps inside. He gets him, and that was something. Oh wow, did he really just hand deliver him 2 launch pads? One thing I was going to say is that probably the most noteworthy decision that EPIKWHALE has made thus far is just like getting yourself to zone quickly, which is a very, very important thing to do. But also dropping the 50 pots for floppers. You know, if this is a situation where, you know, maybe you as a player are watching this and you're unsure what you would have done, well, you know, maybe let this be the guide to you. Floppers are a very, very valuable resource in endgame, as where 50 pots are not going to be so helpful. Luckily for EPIKWHALE, he gets a half and half pull. He got some of those extra materials off of motor, so he's able to extend that base out a little bit, and now he's just looking to hold people. He has gotten a lot. He's gotten so much from other players this game. All right, we're getting a little bit of lobby lag, but see, he's just focusing out some players, getting some damage, and just looking for kills. And this is really all you want to be doing at this position, you know what I mean? If you're not having to worry about your rotation, then you're going to be looking to hurt other people during theirs. You know, there's going to be a lot of launch padders, a lot of people jumping in off crash pads, so really his only goal needs to be just like not losing that high end of his 100 shield and trying to help eliminate players. And look at that, easy. He doesn't get the kill onto Wild Fox, but just being you know, a person that can help eliminate a player from the lobby, beneficial to him and everybody else. So he's looking at these materials, maybe even, yeah, swapping his AR so he doesn't just waste the 30 bullets. That's a little bit of min-maxing there for you guys. If you guys have never thought about that, if you have an extra AR on the ground, especially if it's the same rarity, you know, just swap it over. Use those 30 bullets. Even if it's a green, right? Use the green. Use the 30 bullets out of the green rifle, and then drop it for the blue or whatever the case may be. So we see that zone pull. It's going to go ahead and pull south of him. So, you know, far pull for everybody. There's really nobody that got a great pull off of it, just based on where everybody was sitting at inside the zone. But he has 2 launch pads and a grappler, man. Like, he's big chilling here, you know what I mean? Look at this. And this is another example of like utilizing these resources, right? Like, this is just extra grappling hooks, you know what I mean? Like, he's just using them just to be annoying. Like, it's, you know, why use that, or no, why not use that instead of your AR, you know what I mean? So let's see if he uses a launch pad here. Got 2 of them. Looking above his head, go ahead and place that launch. 10 HP damage from Storm, not a big deal. And he's just looking to find himself in a forward position. Really potentially landing on that player, just seeing if he can find a kill. Yo, somebody followed me in the middle of my recording. What up? Merkle Beta, thanks for following, bro. But yeah, so a little bit of lag, but we can see he's playing a little aggressive here, actually, and he gets a little bit punished for it. So he's gonna, like I said, he's gonna lose that high end of his shield, but he's put himself in a box, and he has, I mean, amazing mobility. Has floppers. There's so many options for him here. Even this, like, just like headhunting these players, now using the grappler to focus on his positioning. He's probably gonna be finding himself in here. Look at this. Sees these 2 players fighting a little bit, so now he's just looking to kind of like impose his will and his damage on the lobby. And that's a northern pull. He's just gonna go ahead and get himself there. Still has good materials. Playing on like second height. The grappler and this extra launch pad, that's just like the name of the game for him, right? Like, this whole game has been made by like a couple of kills. Just having all these resources. I feel like on that last zone pull, he played a little bit extra. Like, looking for some of those kills. Could have been dangerous for him. But now he's kind of like slowed down, changed his pace a little bit, and he's really just looking to stay alive. Has floppers again, so he doesn't mind taking this time. He's looking for high ground control. If he can beam this player here off the height and use that crash pad, jumping in, and now EPIKWHALE has control of high ground. Trying to get inside the box. Will he be able to find the kill? Yes, he does. Grabs that scar. And look at this. If he has a little bit of time, he's going to go on ahead and use all of these splashes, get that shield back up. And again, with grappler control, grappler and floppers is like a pretty much guaranteed high ground, right? Like, I mean, he could tank the storm so he could find the damage that he wanted to grapple above the enemy player, and that's great. And at this point, it's going to be really, really hard to lose. He got a little bit of a mat refresh, don't know exactly how much, but EPIKWHALE sitting on the high ground, got himself a scar, a little bit low on AR ammo, but at this point, he's going to be, you know, single tarping out, using the wood, just staying ahead of people, staying connected, and then, you know, kind of playing like textbook endgame. Even looking for some of this piece control above this enemy player, and that's going to be that final zone pull with 16 players left alive, but he is in the best position possible. Everybody else is burning every build, full tarping in, doing what they can, and meanwhile, the strength of high ground is, you know, the ability to keep your mat usage low. He'll probably climb himself down here a little bit. Yeah, a little bit high up, but look, he's connected, and that's the shockwave launcher he's got to watch out for. You see, Macon drops him in the box with perfect precision. Oh, look at that. Not okay, so he gets knocked out, but he's got the grappler, so not a big deal. He's got to be careful of this player right here. He knows Macon is low, though. So as long as he can just keep himself covered, that's the biggest important thing here. He had to keep himself covered from the launcher. He doesn't want to get knocked out again. He's going to find the kill on to Macon. So I don't know if he's going to get the launcher here. He will. He's going to go ahead and drop that, grab the launcher. Everybody knows the launcher is king when it comes to endgame. It takes a little bit of storm damage for him, but he still has that last flopper, or last couple of floppers, and now he's just going to cause some chaos with the launcher. And again, he still has a launch pad. I mean, this game has been, you know, won off the back of a couple of key fights. He does still have the last flopper, so if he absolutely has to, just getting a little bit of extra match to keep that tarp going. Now he's going to eat the flopper, so he doesn't have anything to heal or like win the heal off with. But he's on that high ground, and now he's looking to pressure. He's going to find the free kill onto Snacky, and that's probably all going to confirm the win for him. Yes, he is. Lucas goes down to the Storm, and man, what a game from EPIKWHALE. I think we just got to pause and talk about some of the things that we saw. You know, quick decision making to get to zone, you know, really heads up plays in terms of finding eliminations. And then, you know, once he had everything he had, it's just about making the right decisions with those items, right? And it's hard enough to get some of the items that he got, you know, playing just like pushing into the vault or trying to be the person that walks away with the loot. That wasn't his goal. His goal early game was to just put himself in the best position possible, and then just to play like fundamental Fortnite, like a really strong fundamental Fortnite. And I think he did really, really well with that. You know, he got the half and half zone. That was probably a really big one. But even looking at the loadout on finish, you know, he had the grappler and he has a launch pad that he didn't use. So even if he didn't get that half and half pull, you know, worst case scenario, he launch pads over to it, you know, takes a little bit of damage and then shields back up. But yeah, EPIKWHALE, he did it. He did the thing. Sorry, I had a yawn. You know, he found some pretty crucial eliminations. He was able to keep his materials getting refreshed, and then just using all of the resources he had in his inventory, whether it was the floppers, the grappler, or at the very end the shockwave launcher, to find the win. So pretty fundamental, like pretty textbook way of playing Fortnite. And you know, what do we expect? We don't really expect anything less coming from EPIKWHALE. So what a dominant performance. So thanks for checking out this video, guys. If you do like it, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm trying a few things. I definitely want to get more serious about VOD reviewing and just bringing some of this information to you. There's a lot that goes into these types of games, so I definitely want to share it with you. So thanks again. I appreciate you for checking it out, and I'll see you on the next video.